we weren't the first band that he had, you know, so he had many bands before us and many since us, you know, that have all got similar stories to tell.
Yield not to temptation. I said my love, and I'm away. I know you're gonna be strong, baby. Leave them all alone. One fine sunny day, I'm here to stay. Yield not to temptation. So many times, you're gonna be lonely.
You're gonna be lonesome.
Many times,
So many times,
gonna be blue.
you're gonna be blue.
You're not temptation. You're not temptation. You're not temptation. You're not temptation.
The nature of this thing was that there was no plan.
Like so many bands I had been in, like the band got together to try to get a record deal. If it didn't get a record deal, the band broke up. It was like they didn't get together to just play.
We would just want it spontaneous every night, whether it was good, bad, or ugly.
And he would challenge us, everybody who played with him, to get outside of their box and play something original.
You didn't even have to really know the songs. That wasn't what he was concerned with. He was concerned with, are you playing yourself? You know, are you serving the greater good? Are you playing for the cause? These are things that you learn when you play with Bruce.
If you weren't having a good time, it was your fault, because if you could work within this certain parameter, you could get away with murder. And then I realized Bruce can hear odd times. Like we could play in 5 and 7 and 9 and stuff, and he actually could follow it. And I was like, well, okay, so we really don't have any limitations, you know, like, why not, you know, just go for it.
You might call it a mental institute instead of a band, but yeah, we've come with no instruments and done 8-hour sets, and we brought a lot of food and gotten weird, and yeah.
It's folk music. That's where I learned about folk music, really, was playing with Bruce. And we were just doing really twisted folk music, I've later realized, you know. Like a lot of the Delta blues tunes, I didn't know anything about Delta blues or bluegrass. So tunes that I thought were bluegrass tunes were actually Delta blues tunes, and vice versa. We were just doing them in the opposite style.
Our thing was never about the amount of material that we had. That was never what our strength was. Our strength was reinterpreting that material, you know, on a daily basis, and having it'd be different today than it was yesterday, and tomorrow it'll be different than it was today.
People used to compare us to the Grateful Dead. None of us really listened to Grateful, and I was like, Grateful Dead, like where are they getting that? And then I realized later, when we were just going out, that sounded, that's where they were going, oh, that's like, you know, when the Dead goes out, you know. And I guess they thought we got that from the Dead. But for me, I thought we got it from Sun Ra and Cecil Taylor and Ornette Coleman and, you know, Albert Eiler, and that's where I plugged into it.
Many times,
So many times,
I know you're blue.
I know you're blue.
You're not temptation. You're not temptation. You're not temptation. You're not temptation. You're not, you got to.
There's some weird, unseen, invisible chemistry that, you know, most of the nights it's good.
You're not, you got to yield. You're not. You're not. Oh, you're not now.
chemistry here because we're all brothers and we all have played together for so long.
We've shared so much together. We sort of grew up together musically. Not Bruce, but Oteil, Jeff, and me, and Matt Mundy, and Ricky Keller, and people like that we've known through the years, that we've met through Bruce. We all sort of have a bond because we all kind of grew up in the school of Hampton. We weren't children when we were playing with him, but it was almost like a school. And so we all feel like we kind of graduated together in the school of Hampton. The first Chazzoid that he had was the scale would allow him to tune it like a mandolin, like a 4-string mandolin. But then that one broke into 3 pieces on stage at Hilton Head. He threw it on the stage and it broke into 3 pieces, and the only thing holding it together was the strings. And he continued to play it after it broke into 3 pieces on the floor.
Oteil on bass. Matt Slocum on organ.
Oteil used to live in Birmingham, and that's where I lived, so I met him there. Got to play with him a few times, and then ended up in his band. And so met Jimmy through him, and then met Jeff Sipe and Colonel and that kind of thing. I've been listening to Aquarium Rescue Unit since the early 90s, so it's like a dream come true for me to play with these guys, you know. Such amazing players. So, you know, everything's there. I just have to add a little bit to it, you know.
He's got to be, oh yeah, some kind of nut. Can't use it now. Try to make it real compared to what?
What I look forward to is getting back on stage with them and just playing music together and without thinking about anything, and just letting the moment happen. That used to be our thing, and you know, it might take it a minute to find that place again. It's not that easy to do. We were living with each other at that time, and we were always playing. I mean, we played a ton of gigs, and a lot of those gigs were, you know, I mean, you know, there wasn't any redeeming qualities about some of those gigs except the music. That kind of adversity, sometimes it'll push the musicians into different places, and what it did with us, I look forward to seeing if that's still there.
Anytime you add a new player, the chemistry is a little different, you know, but to come in and do 2 shows is different than like doing a tour where, you know, things will start changing and morphing and just becoming sort of what we're doing now. Yeah, that'll be cool.
You know, I was actually kind of scared. I was like, guys, I don't want to do the same old tunes, you know. And then we played, it was me and Jimmy and Bruce and Vidakovich. We played this benefit in New Orleans. And we just didn't even like, I don't even remember what we did. And I was like, what are you uptight about, man? Let go of everything. Change all those tunes. If you don't like, I was like, you know, if you don't like playing compared to the way we used to do it, play it different. It'll still work over, like, I was like, you know, why are you trying to like micromanage it? Just whatever, it's gonna be a blast, you know, it's gonna be a blast.
It's really the greatest lessons of my life, I think, have been through him, through that motley bunch down there.
Yeah, and what
See?
This feels like children at play. This isn't work. This is our soul's release, you know. And now, you know, we can come back after so many years and discover ourselves again, you know, our evolved higher selves are coming back together, and it's just joyful. It really is.
I'm just a folk singer from another planet. These are some of the greatest musicians in the world.
I cannot use it now. I'm trying to make it real compared to